Very much for giving me this, and I appreciate my fans also, my wife and my girlfriend. I mean my wife. Yeah, sorry to say, I'm so I'm so sorry, my wife.
Newcastle United are on fire after confirming their first signing. Are they closing in on more?
I could see that as a very real possibility.
So today we'll find out about Newcastle's confirmed approach for Riccardo Calafior, get the breaking news surrounding Arsenal submitting a player plus cash offer for Newcastle star, discuss the recent Micheal Olise release clause twist as Newcastle look to land summer deal, find out about the potential signing of Ousmane Diomande, get exclusive news regarding Newcastle's pursuit of James Trafford being complicated by contract position. We'll also reveal how Newcastle are closing in on deal for £63 million forward after record-breaking season. Join us as we uncover the latest Newcastle United news. Make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell because you won't want to miss a single moment of this incredible journey.
Let's go!
Starting off, as noted by various reports, according to The Athletic, Premier League clubs Liverpool, Newcastle United and West Ham United have submitted inquiries for 22-year-old Italian international Riccardo Calafiori, who currently plays for Italian club Bologna. Calafiori has been making waves in the Serie A this past season, with his impressive performances helping Bologna secure a spot in the prestigious UEFA Champions League. The young centre-back's rapid rise to prominence has not gone unnoticed, with several top-flight clubs now vying for his services. Calafiori's journey highlights his earlier struggles to establish himself after graduating from the youth academy at AS Roma. However, a productive loan spell at FC Basel appeared to have been the catalyst for his transformation, as he found a stable footing that has propelled him to new heights at Bologna. Calafiori's exploits for the Rossoblu have been nothing short of remarkable. In 33 appearances across all competitions, he has contributed 2 goals and 5 assists, showcasing his versatility and attacking prowess from the back. His contributions have been integral to Bologna's successful campaign, which has now attracted the attention of the Premier League heavyweights. For Italy, in the recent Euro 2024 game, Riccardo Calafiori against Albania, he had a 100% aerial duels won, 93% pass accuracy, 5 recoveries, 3 interceptions, 2 out of 2 dribbles completed, and a match rating of 7.3. And by looking at his heat map in this particular game, it reminds one of how a certain Fabian Schär plays. Liverpool in particular have identified Calafiori as a potential solution to their defensive woes, with the departure of Joel Matip leaving a void in their backline. The Reds are actively scouring the market for a reliable centre-back, and the 22-year-old Italian international has emerged as a viable target. Newcastle United, too, have joined the race for Calafiori's signature. Despite having recently secured the signing of Lloyd Kelly, the Magpies are keen to bolster their defensive options further, and the young Italian has caught their eye. The report suggests that Calafiori could potentially become the undisputed first-choice centre-back alongside Sven Botman at St. James's Park. West Ham United, on the other hand, are facing uncertainty over the future of Naif Aguerd, and they view Calafiori as a potential replacement should the Moroccan international depart the London Stadium. The Hammers are determined to strengthen their defensive unit and see the Italian youngster as a promising long-term solution. The report not only highlights the interest from these 3 Premier League clubs, but also notes that Calafiori's services are being courted by other top-flight teams, including Chelsea and Tottenham. This intense competition for the 22-year-old signature underscores the rising stock of the Italian defender and the fierce battle that is likely to ensue in the upcoming transfer window. As Bologna scrambles to retain their prized asset, it remains to be seen where Riccardo Calafiori will ply his trade next season, with Liverpool, Newcastle United, and West Ham United all seemingly eager to secure his services and bolster their defensive options. In terms of another centre-back option, according to reports from Portugal, Newcastle United have reignited their interest in signing Sporting Lisbon's centre-back Ousmane Diomande this summer. The Magpies are actively seeking to bolster their defensive options, with a right-sided centre-back being a priority target. Diomande, the Ivory Coast international, has been regularly linked with a move to Newcastle since the turn of the year. The Portuguese publication Abola claims that Diomande is now available for a fee in the region of 50 to 60 million euros, 42 to 50 million pounds. The report suggests that the highly rated defender has also attracted interest from Premier League rivals Arsenal, Liverpool, Manchester United, and Juventus. However, the article indicates that Newcastle are the one Premier League club that has already approached Sporting Lisbon in an attempt to strike a deal for Diomande. The 6'3" centre-back is praised for his pace, power, confidence in possession, and dominance in the air, making him an attractive proposition as a modern-day defender in the Premier League. While this would be an expensive alternative to Tosin Adarabioyo, whom Newcastle had previously tried to sign on a free transfer before he opted to join Chelsea, Diomande could be viewed as a long-term replacement for Fabian Schär and a potential future partner for Sven Botman in the Newcastle backline. The reports from Portugal suggest that Diomande's price tag has come down, which may make the deal more feasible for Newcastle as they continue their search for a right-sided centre-back this summer. It remains to be seen whether these rumors from Portugal hold true, but Diomande's name is certainly not going away, and he appears to fit the profile of the kind of defender Newcastle are targeting to strengthen their defensive options for the upcoming season. Then moving on, according to journalist Matt Law, there may be a twist in the race to sign Crystal Palace winger Micheal Olise, as Newcastle United continue their pursuit of the highly rated 22-year-old. According to the previous reports, Newcastle United have made contact with Crystal Palace this summer regarding a potential move for their highly rated winger Micheal Olise. However, the Toon army will face stiff competition for the talented 22-year-old, with Chelsea and Bayern Munich also credited with an interest. It is claimed that Olise could cost Newcastle in the region of £60 million if they are to secure his services this summer. This potential transfer fee is based on information obtained from within the Crystal Palace camp, which suggests the player may have a sizable release clause in his contract. However, there appears to be some discrepancy around the specifics of this supposed release clause. Speaking on the London is Blue podcast, journalist Matt Law revealed that while Palace officials have suggested the clause may only be applicable to Champions League clubs, representatives from Chelsea have disputed this, stating that there may not even be an actual release clause in place. If you speak to people at the Palace end, you get told quite a lot about a supposed buyout clause, maybe as much as £60 million. And it has been mentioned that it might only be applicable to Champions League clubs. We speak to people at the Chelsea and they're very definite that it's not applicable to only Champions League clubs, and that there might not even be actual clause. So I'm very, very wary of clause talk, but there seems to be a deal that can be done for him. Like I say, those three clubs, Chelsea, Newcastle, and Bayern Munich, have got permission to speak to him, Law said. Nonetheless, it is clear that Newcastle will have to fend off significant competition if they are to land Olise, who has emerged as one of the most exciting young attacking talents in the Premier League over the past season. The statistics paint a picture of a dynamic, goal-scoring winger, with Olise ranking in the 99th percentile for non-penalty goals and shots per 90 minutes among players in his position. He also boasts impressive numbers for assists, successful take-ons, interceptions, and blocks, showcasing his well-rounded skill set. Securing Olise would undoubtedly be a significant coup for Newcastle as they look to continue their impressive rise under Eddie Howe. The 22-year-old's ability to provide a creative spark and goal threat from wide areas could make him an invaluable addition to the Magpies squad. However, the draw of playing for a club the size of Chelsea or Bayern Munich may prove difficult for Newcastle to overcome, despite the potential of regular first-team football at St. James's Park. The Toon Army will need to make a compelling case, both financially and in terms of their project, to convince Olise that his future lies on Tyneside. As the summer transfer window progresses, the battle for Micheal Olise's signature is sure to be one of the most interesting battles, with Newcastle facing a stern challenge to fend off their high-profile rivals and secure the services of the highly coveted Crystal Palace winger. Then, in further developments, according to the latest reports, Arsenal are growing increasingly frustrated in their pursuit of Real Sociedad midfielder Martin Zubimendi, and are now exploring the possibility of a swap deal with Newcastle United for their star player Bruno Guimaraes. The Gunners have identified strengthening their midfield as a top priority this summer, with reports suggesting that Thomas Partey could depart the club amidst interest from clubs in Saudi Arabia. Both Zubimendi and Guimaraes have emerged as key targets for Arsenal as they seek to bolster their options in the middle of the park. However, the negotiations for Zubimendi appear to have hit a roadblock, prompting Arsenal to shift their attention to Guimaraes. The report from Football Transfer suggests that the Gunners are now actively exploring a swap deal that could see a number of their players move to St. James's Park in exchange for the Brazilian midfielder. The players mentioned as potential makeweights in the deal include Emile Smith-Rowe, Alexander Zinchenko, Thomas Partey, Eddie Nketiah, and Albert Sambi Lokonga. Arsenal will likely hope that including one of these players in the deal could help them negotiate a more favorable price for Guimaraes, who has also been linked with the move to Manchester City. Securing Guimaraes would undoubtedly be a significant coup for Arsenal, as the 25-year-old has quickly established himself as one of the most dynamic and influential midfielders in the Premier League since joining Newcastle in January 2022. His physical presence, technical ability, and defensive contributions have been instrumental in the Magpies' impressive rise up the table. However, Newcastle are unlikely to part with their prized asset easily, and they will surely do everything in their power to keep hold of Guimaraes, especially given the interest from a direct rival like Arsenal. The Gunners will need to make a compelling offer, potentially including a high-profile player, to tempt the Tyneside club into a deal. But tell me, which Arsenal player would you want at Newcastle if the swap deal was to materialize? Talking about deals materializing, Newcastle's pursuit of James Trafford has been long overdue. Recent reports have now provided reasons to why. According to reports from the Northern Echo and journalist Scott Wilson, Newcastle United's pursuit of goalkeeper James Trafford from Burnley is being complicated by a significant sell-on clause held by Manchester City. Trafford, the 21-year-old England squad member, has emerged as Newcastle's preferred goalkeeping target this summer after the Magpies concluded that a deal for Valencia's Giorgio Mamardashvili would be too expensive and difficult to complete. Newcastle are understood to have tabled an initial bid of around £16 million for Trafford, who joined Burnley from Manchester City last summer. However, a significant portion of that proposed fee would be dependent on meeting various clauses in the deal. The complicating factor is that Manchester City are entitled to a 20% sell-on clause from any future transfer involving Trafford. This means that Burnley are determined to secure the best possible deal for the young goalkeeper, as they look to maximize the amount of the fee they can retain. Burnley would ideally like to agree on a total package closer to £20 million for Trafford, and they are adamant that they want as much of the fee paid up front as possible, rather than being reliant on conditional clauses. This situation has created something of an impasse in the negotiations between Newcastle and Burnley, although sources in Tyneside remain confident that a resolution will be found ahead of the start of pre-season training. The outcome of this pursuit is crucial for Newcastle, as they have already allowed Loris Karius to leave the club at the end of his contract. Trafford's arrival would almost certainly result in the sale of Newcastle's current second-choice goalkeeper, Martin Dubravka, who has been linked with a move to Celtic. Dubravka's future at Newcastle remains uncertain, with the Slovakian goalkeeper refusing to answer any questions about his club situation in the aftermath of his national team's shock 1-0 victory over Belgium at Euro 2024. The complications surrounding the Trafford deal highlight the complexity of transfer negotiations, especially when dealing with clauses and third-party interests. Newcastle will need to navigate these challenges carefully if they are to secure the services of their preferred goalkeeping target this summer. Then, as Newcastle United prepare for the upcoming season, the focus isn't solely on who they can bring in, but also on resolving some internal issues within the club. One of the main talking points has been the future of the club's £63 million record signing, Alexander Isak. Speculation has been rife about a potential move to Arsenal, but Newcastle have made their stance very clear: Isak is not for sale. To further reinforce their commitment to keeping Isak at St. James's Park, according to Graham Bailey and the HITC, the club is reportedly in talks with the Swedish striker over a new contract, despite his current deal running until 2028. This move is likely to address a clause in Isak's existing contract that would see him take a 20% pay cut in seasons where Newcastle do not qualify for the Champions League, which will be the case for the upcoming season. The fear is that this pay cut may tempt Isak to consider a move away from the club, as he may not have expected to hit the Champions League pay bump so soon. However, Newcastle are determined to keep hold of their prized asset and are believed to be willing to scrap the pay cut clause as a gesture to show Isak how much the club values him. Isak's importance to Newcastle cannot be overstated. Last season, the former Real Sociedad forward netted 21 Premier League goals, cementing his status as a key player in Eddie Howe's squad. The new contract is set to see Isak become the highest earner at the club, further underlining Newcastle's commitment to keeping him. The club's efforts to secure Isak's long-term future are a clear indication of their desire to retain their key players. This is not only true for Isak, but also for the highly rated midfielder Bruno Guimaraes, whose future has also been the subject of speculation. Newcastle have been equally resolute in their stance regarding Guimaraes, making it clear that he is not for sale. The club's ambition is to build a strong, cohesive squad that can continue to challenge for European positions, and retaining their best players is a crucial part of this strategy. While the summer transfer window presents opportunities to strengthen the squad, Newcastle's priority seems to be ensuring that their existing core remains intact. By resolving these internal issues and securing the long-term futures of players like Isak and Guimaraes, the Magpies are positioning themselves for a strong and successful season ahead.
Up the Mags.
Yes, sir.
Then finally, in massive news that could change Newcastle's future forever. If you would want to know the David Ornstein and Sky Sports News massive Newcastle United transfer bombshell, click the video link on screen now.